morning with Miss Hot Sauce, Miss Tony, and Rockstone Triz.
Good morning, neighbor. Good morning, neighbor. Every day is a hustle and a bustle.
I really, for some reason, I thought you were gonna start with the song, with the actual.
I said every day is a hustle and a bustle.
That's not where it starts.
That is where it starts.
It's the easiest song. What's going on? Please tell me what's going on.
What's going on?
Hey.
What's going on?
Hey.
What's going
Hey.
on?
Hey.
What's going, neighbor?
Good morning.
Yes, good morning, everybody. Welcome to Spark FM Online, #1 for Urban and Caribbean. Go away, boy. #1 for Urban and Caribbean music. Thank you guys for joining us today on this fine, fine day. We are so happy to see you. We are so happy for you to be here. And we are just happy in generale. Quick check-in. How you doing, everybody? Let's start with Miss Tonte.
I'm doing all right. I'm tired.
Por que you so tired?
I don't know, but I am doing all right. Besides that, I'm doing all right. And things like that.
And things as such.
As such.
As such and such.
Therefore, I am okay. And I would like to say that.
Yeah.
I would like to say.
That's it. That's all I gotta say.
What about you, Rockstone Triz?
I'm good, man. I'm kind of amped.
Why?
Because I'm looking forward to the
Summer?
upcoming season. Yeah, man.
Yeah, I'm nervous about
nervous?
Yeah, because it's just summertime is just so busy. There's so many things to do. There's so many things going
It is.
on. Everything is everything. You got to go
Every day
here.
is a hustle and a bustle.
Yes, exactly.
Yes.
But
Yes.
but it's worth it because money be running in the summer. So money be running.
My money be running out in the summer.
It be running quite out to me too.
Yeah, man.
No, I love the summer season just because I love the sun, and I'm looking forward to summer. I think I'm going to have a really, really good summer. So I'm looking forward to that. I think it's going to be
Beautiful.
something to look forward to. And, yesterday I had a really good conversation with a young lady about the mayoral race
And
that's happening in Boston.
What they think?
I think a lot of people are at a 50-50 kind of situation with what's going on. I think people are very, very interested in what Josh Kraft may offer, but they're also we know what Mayor Wu has to offer. So I think that people are, happy with her track record. And, of course, there's some people that aren't, but the people that I was speaking to are happy with it. But they're also a little curious about what Josh Kraft may have to offer.
I think that Josh Kraft does offer some curiosity.
Yeah.
Yeah, like he offers some I wonder what if. I think that his biggest issue right now is that
He's a billionaire white man.
he's a billionaire white man.
Yeah.
And I think that's what scares a lot of people, especially people here in Boston, Massachusetts.
Mhm.
That is something that we are legitimately fighting against.
Right.
Like the billionaire white men are fighting against Boston.
Yeah.
And him being one of them, being an outlier of them,
Mhm.
it's one of those things where people just don't. I don't know. I'm nervous.
I don't know. When I think about him, though, I think about when Ben Affleck. We were talking about Ben Affleck a couple weeks ago, and he said to his son wanted those expensive sneakers,
Yeah.
and he was like, "You're not rich. I'm rich." So, but I mean, I know that's not necessarily the case, but I think that Josh is trying to, let people know, like,
Separate himself.
yeah,
from
like
his
that's
dad.
my dad. That's my dad's money, and whatever. I just happen to fall under that last name, so I do. It afforded me some privilege. However, that's not. I'm not living off of that.
Yep.
So I think, but I do think that he does grab people's attention, and I think that the work that he's doing in the community, the places that he's showing up in this community are not places that you would expect a billionaire white man to be, and I think that those things appeasing to the Black community.
Yep,
Right,
yep.
he is very
Very
very personable, and I think that is
That's
I
a
think
great
people,
quality. to
yeah.
have, because like as much as we've interviewed the mayor,
Yeah.
been with been around her,
Mhm.
she still doesn't really come off.
Right, and that's what I said.
know.
I said, well, I've been on the Woo train for a while,
Mhm.
and she's a friend of the show, and like we've had a lot of interactions with her. But again, I think he sparked some curiosity in a lot of people, so I think he's doing right in that. So
He's doing what he needs to do. Again, I think our collective
yeah,
qualm is that he needs to focus on what he can do
yeah,
and not what she's not doing.
right. And that's something that I did say. Like
Mhm.
I didn't like that part of the
Him.
campaign,
Yeah.
but we gonna be all right.
We gonna be alright.
Yeah,
Yeah, we
have
gonna
got
be
a
alright.
great show for you guys today. We do have Alvin Ailey Dance Theater is going to be in Boston this weekend, and we will be speaking with one of the dancers from the Alvin Ailey Dance Theater, which is very, very exciting.
Wow.
It's always, if you haven't seen that show, then you might have an opportunity to see it this weekend if you stay tuned. And we also have a good interview with our good friend Conan Harris.
Mhm.
Who will be coming in and talking to us about some interesting things that are happening for our city. So that's something to really, really look forward to. I'm excited about today's show.
Me too. We got a lot going on.
We do. And you know what? The weather is improving. It's going to be in the 60s this week, I think. So that always helps. And the sun just being out just, really, really does magic
out,
for my
buns
I
out.
mood.
think today's supposed to be about 70.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, man.
Did yesterday get as hot as they said it would be?
It was.
They said you said 75, I think, in the morning.
Let me see. I was inside. Me and the boys was inside all day.
Yeah.
No, but it was very warm.
It was warm.
It was very warm
I
because I
think they
remember
said
we
Boston
did.
got up into the high 60s, but more inland, it did reach up into the 70s. We're outland. Boston is outland.
Anyhow, let's get this show started. Saucy and Friends starts right now. Let's
Yeah.
go.
Lego.
You're listening to Saucy and Friends in the morning with Miss Hot Sauce, Miss Tony, and Rockstone Triz. You're listening to Spark FM online. You're listening to Spark FM online.
The People Station. What is that? Spark FM.
I can feel it when you walk.
Ow.
Even them day missing moment though.
Hey.
Sunday.
Yeah.
I wanna know, can you hear me?
The all news.
Yeah.
I meant to play this one. Oh.
Oh, it was a good rendition. Today is Wednesday, April 23rd. 9:38 a.m. 9:38 a.m. It's going to be mainly sunny, a high of 71 degrees, winds in the northwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour. So it's going to be a beautiful day today. It's going to be just sunny and 71 is a great degree. Is a great degree to have. I like that a lot. You guys have any plans for today? Doing anything fun?
I am not.
No date, no lunch, nothing.
Yard work.
No walk.
Yard work and flyer work.
I'm gonna do a little flyer work and a little something today.
No.
No, what?
I don't know.
Oh, it's like candy.
I've been thinking out loud a lot.
All right.
Thinking out loud. You know that song by that guy?
What guy?
What's
The
all?
song "Thinking Out Loud." It's a song by that guy with the red hair. He's so. You know the
Ed
song
Sheeran.
"Thinking Out Loud."
Ed Sheeran.
Ed Sheeran.
Yes, that hair is lovely.
All right.
What's your hair with that wave?
Well,
in
Miss
it?
Tony, why don't you hit us with the roundway news?
Oh, his hair, look at him looking like Superman
Look at
over
that.
there. You just need a little swirl in the middle.
It is, yeah. One little down here.
Yes.
I just woke up like
I
this.
woke
Well,
up like this. All
swinging
right,
across.
you go. Starting off the news on some bad news, unfortunately.
Ay,
There's
ay,
updates to that story that we had about that the guy in Mattapan that stabbed the woman.
Yes, and the children?
And the children, yeah. So turns out this is his wife that he stabbed.
Oh.
That he shot. So a Boston man is facing a series of charges after police say he shot his wife and two of his children, ages 14 and 16, and then stabbed an 18-year-old woman Monday night in Mattapan neighborhood of Boston. Police were called at 11:14 to an incident on 34 Regis Road for a domestic violence situation, officials said. Responding officers found Priscilla Robinson, 47, and a 16-year-old girl and 4-year-old boy suffering from gunshot wounds, and Robinson's other daughter, Virginia Robertson, 18, suffering from a stab wound.
Lord.
Upon arrival, police located a female victim suffering from multiple gunshot wounds to her torso. Officers were alerted that there were other gunshot victims inside of that home, said prosecutor Danielle Taylor, two of whom were juveniles suffering from multiple gunshot wounds to the arms and the legs. The suspect Calvin Stokes, 46 of Mattapan, was arrested early Tuesday during a traffic stop at 144 Rose Street in Rosendale. His vehicle was towed. Stokes pleaded not guilty to 4 counts of assault with intent to murder, 4 counts of assault and battery with a dangerous weapon, a knife, unlawful possession of a firearm, subsequent offense, unlawful possession of ammunition, and discharging a firearm within 500 feet of a dwelling. He is also charged as a career criminal.
Here goes a clip.
The defendant was even led into the courtroom.
I was going to say, who is he? Who's running?
Calvin Stokes is charged with shooting his wife, 2 children, ages 4 and 16, then stabbing his 18-year-old sister-in-law in the hand when she tried to intervene. Prosecutors say they were called to 33 Regis Road just after 11 p.m. last night and found a family covered in blood.
Upon arrival, officers located a female victim suffering from multiple gunshot wounds to her torso. Officers were alerted that there were other gunshot victims inside of that home, 2 of whom, were juveniles suffering from multiple gunshot wounds to the arms and the legs.
Stokes pleaded not guilty, but prosecutors pushed to keep him behind bars. They say the violence actually started over the weekend. Boston police pulled Stokes over on Saturday night near his home because he was driving recklessly. His wife told police the 46-year-old had assaulted her earlier in the evening.
That assault eventually escalated to her being tackled to the ground. Officers were able to observe injuries to her ear. She also additionally expressed fear that he would return and harm her.
Understandably, the entire family in this case is beyond traumatized. The victims, Priscilla Robinson, her sister, and those 2 children in the home did suffer serious injuries, but are listed in stable condition at this hour and are expected to recover. Stokes is being held until Monday for a dangerousness hearing.
Was the children his too?
Yeah.
What possesses you in your heart soul? It can't be anything. You don't have, at this point, that's a complete what? I'm not sure. I want to give him the benefit of the doubt for some reason, like he's at a mental break, or maybe he's like he was on the drug. Like, what is it that makes?
They said it started all weekend. It was all weekend. He was terrorizing her, and then
what possessed you to shoot your own 4-year-old child? Like, I understand maybe the 13-year-old was making too much noise, but a 4-year-old, it's a baby.
16-year-old and 4-year-old, those are his kids.
Yeah.
And he shot both of them multiple times too. So the mother was shot multiple times. And both of them,
kids were shot multiple times?
Multiple times with gunshot wounds. They said multiple wounds in their arms and legs. And then the 18-year-old is her daughter.
He
stabbed her. Uh-huh. And on the news yesterday, there was a neighbor who knows them. She ran over to go see what was going on. She ended up with a cut on her hand too, because he was.
Yeah, that has to be drug-induced fentanyl, out of body, schizophrenia.
Yeah,
all of the things, and it's schizophrenia because I just watched 911 yesterday, and that was crazy. Well, not the one y'all talking about, but the other one with Chimney and the girl.
Yeah,
crazy. I'm confused.
Yeah. He also, they said that there was like a scuffle in the courtroom between the families yesterday.
I saw the police running.
Yeah. So there was just a lot going on with this case, and it's just I'm glad that nobody has died. They said that they're non-life-threatening injuries that the people have, but they're definitely multiple injuries for everybody involved.
Well, good luck to the family.
This really, really sad story here too. 3rd Massachusetts high school senior dies. 1 remains critically injured following a Florida crash. 3 18-year-old high school seniors from Massachusetts are dead, and one remains in critical condition
Mercy.
following a crash Monday night involving a tractor trailer in the Florida Panhandle. The crash happened at 9:28 p.m. on US 98, about 1 mile west of South Watersound Parkway in Walton County. The 4 18-year-olds were in an SUV traveling westbound when a tractor trailer performed a U-turn in the paved median of the highway. The SUV in which the 18-year-olds were traveling collided with the trailer, then moved across the median in both eastbound lanes before coming to rest on a south side of the highway, according to the Florida Highway Patrol. A male driver and a female passenger were pronounced dead at the scene. They were identified as Concord Carlisle High School seniors Jimmy McIntosh and Hannah Wasserman, according to the Concord Carlisle Regional School District Superintendent. The Concord Carlisle High School community has learned of a tragic car accident that took place in Florida on Monday night. Hunter said in a statement issued to the school community Tuesday morning.
That's crazy.
I don't know. So to the
It was
senior,
a car.
it was a car. They were in a SUV,
Uh-huh.
and the SUV got hit by a tractor trailer. On Tuesday afternoon, Hunter announced that the third female passenger, identified as Macy O'Donnell, has died, and then there is one that is still in critical condition.
I always think about that. Like, how does that happen? I know a friend that got side something by a tractor trailer.
Mhm.
Is it because they can't see or something like that, and you get into their blind spot? Like, what? That's one of the scariest things that I always think about. Like, I never want to get hit by a semi or something like that.
If Tris can play the clip, they show the road that they were on. It looks like it's a very dark, not well-traveled road.
Yeah.
The driver of the tractor trailer was a 19-year-old Florida resident, and there was a passenger with him. Neither of them were
19
injured.
years old?
The driver of the tractor trailer.
Driving from Florida to where was this?
It was in Florida.
In Florida? No, where was?
The kids are from Concord,
Nah.
Carlisle.
Oh, okay.
But they were in Florida. Also, Mommy posed a question yesterday and said, when is it that high schoolers go to spring break in
Miami?
like in Miami or Florida?
I think
Like
that's
They
this
don't go.
one.
They don't do
April?
Miami anymore. They
But
go to-
high schoolers, I thought it was a college spring
Yeah, it's a
break
college
thing.
school. Yeah.
I didn't realize that high school students went away to spring break on
Me
spring break trips like
either.
that. And renting a car, you can't rent a car at 18 in
That's
Florida.
a parent renting a car
That's
for
their
them.
parents
Yeah.
that rented the car for them.
I don't know if I would be okay with my
No.
17, 18-year-old going
I would not.
to Florida by themselves.
Spring break. Yeah,
You
no.
go to Florida by yourself? You old though. Went to cop, but you're old.
With your friends.
But 18.
But you Mexican, so you was just going home.
Here goes the clip.
Touche.
He says Maisie, a high school senior,
Oh,
was one of
no.
the best divers in the nation, a two-time Massachusetts state champion with
Oh,
plans to attend
Maisie.
Williams College next fall.
It's a tragedy that somebody at the top of their game, going to the best academic school, one of the best divers in the nation, that is cut so short.
He says Maisie came from a close-knit family and found a second family with her diving team, saying the loss of these teens is immeasurable.
To be a parent or somebody involved with one of these kids has to be one of the hardest things in the world. I can't imagine anything tougher.
Investigators say the driver of the tractor trailer involved in this crash is a 19-year-old Florida man. They say he and his passenger weren't hurt and that their investigation is ongoing. Live in Concord, Emily Maha.
A tractor trailer is what 18-wheeler?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's an awful story. We do know of a family close to us, a Honduran family. Remember the girls were driving back to home.
Yep,
and they got hit
yep,
by a
yep,
tractor
yep,
trailer,
yep,
and I
yep,
think
yep,
the three
yep.
of them ended up passing away too. That was really, really sad. And this is just weeks away from their graduation, which is awful. Karen Reed case. Ooh, that
Global.
global. It was
Global.
last night with David Muir was talking about it last night.
Karen Reed even made Boston's 150 most influential.
Okay, Karen Reed.
She was number 150. She
Really?
came in right there, and then Mira got the bonus.
Who's Mira?
Mira Wu.
Oh, the baby.
Yes.
Mira, of course. Karen Reed trial for filming inside trial. Sorry. A woman man was arrested.
Oh,
Because I'm like, what? Woburn man arrested outside Karen Reed trial for filming inside courthouse buffer zone. So the man was arrested after allegedly refusing to leave the 200-foot buffer zone outside the courthouse where the Karen Reed trial is being held. A Woburn man is charged with trespassing and disturbing the peace after he allegedly refused to leave the buffer zone outside the courthouse where the Karen Reed trial is being held. Court records show.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
Ready?
Yep.
To previously testified.
Demonstrators for Karen Reed are watching the trial outside, a significant distance from the courthouse where the proceedings are taking place, all part of a buffer zone established by the judge.
We got to follow the rules. That's, no one's happy about it.
Why is it doing that?
Keep on pausing like that?
Yeah.
The prosecution says the judge set the buffer zone to ensure a fair trial after jurors from Reed's first trial reported hearing the protests outside even during deliberations. The court order carves out a 200-foot area where demonstrating is not allowed. That includes signs or clothes with insignias. This morning, state police removed an Arlington man who allegedly lingered and filmed within the buffer zone despite numerous requests to leave. Bao Win is charged with trespassing. A short while later, troopers pulled over a commercial truck outside the courthouse after the driver was heard yelling, "Free Karen Reed." Her supporters say they are respecting the buffer zone to deliver a message.
Everybody has a presumption of innocence until they're proven guilty, and I think in this case, that hasn't been the case. So
that's true.
I feel it's important to support Karen and support the justice system the way it should be.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Karen is really like a celebrity.
She's gonna go down in history.
No, Luanda's right. People are very wild about this.
Yeah.
I guess for me, what is the appeal of the case?
I have no idea.
The appeal is that
Because this cop set up.
DC, yeah, it's a whole bunch of corruption.
But don't the cops set up people all the time?
Hey,
like with
Daisy.
these kind of stuff. This seems to have linked. This has been 3 years now?
Yeah, I mean, but it's what it is it's a white woman.
It's not even was the one who had blamed the black people in Roxbury. The Stewarts. It's not like that where it was like well, I guess it is, right?
Yeah.
Because this time it's not racially motivated, but it is the same
It's
type
white
of whatever.
versus blue.
It's white versus blue, and that's two hardcore opposing sides.
Mhm.
Yes.
But the documentaries and the global friggin' popularity
and for me it doesn't seem
crazy.
It doesn't seem so gory or gruesome or anything like that. It was it was a proposed car hit.
Yeah, I mean, I think it could just be that this shit is silly.
Yeah.
Why is this so much?
Yeah.
And I think people are just like, she is innocent. Leave her alone.
Yeah.
What the heck is this? Yeah, free Karen Reed. You see the little truck driver got pulled over. He should have not said that.
Here goes. I do have a clip on actual update on the case. It's a little quick short case.
Okay.
Oh, let's do that because I want to see what's going on.
Because we do know the trial started yesterday. It was live everywhere.
New information revealed in opening statements of Karen Reed's retrial. The prosecution says the temperature of John O'Keefe's cell phone battery proves that he spent hours in the snow after they say Reed hit and killed him. As Brandon Truitt explains, that new evidence is just one of the differences between what we're seeing now and Reed's first murder trial.
If you followed the first trial, a lot of this is going to sound like deja vu, but there are some changes in how both sides are presenting their cases, with a new special prosecutor from the state leading it off.
We are here today because John O'Keefe was killed by the actions and conduct of that defendant, Karen Reed.
Prosecutor Hank Brennan might be new to this case, but he's no stranger to the courtroom. The one-time defense attorney for mobster Whitey Bulger trying the case against Karen Reed. During opening statements, Brennan told the jury of 18, the facts and data will lead them to the truth. It's his belief Karen Reed backed into her Boston police officer boyfriend, John O'Keefe, and left him to die in the snow in 2022.
That John O'Keefe had to be injured somewhere else, somewhere warmer.
Defense attorney Alan Jackson focusing this time around on what he calls a botched investigation led by a former state trooper who was fired for his handling of this case.
And that cancer has a name.
Yeah.
His name is Michael Proctor.
The first witnesses took the stand Tuesday. Both testified in the first trial. Timothy Nuttall was the EMT who responded that night and recalled O'Keefe being cold to the touch and Reed screaming with blood on her face after trying to resuscitate him.
I hit him. That was how it went that morning, and that was how I remember it.
The defense grilled Nuttall on his changing testimony from the first trial. Prosecutors then showed Reed in her own words, playing clips from a documentary she interviewed for.
And I know I said I hit him, but did I really say it as many times as law enforcement's claiming I said it?
Finally, Carrie Roberts, a friend of O'Keefe's, recalled a phone call with Reed the next morning.
Carrie, John's dead. And then she hung up.
Reed speaking to reporters outside the courthouse Tuesday, praising her defense team and their strategy.
We've got the truth, so we just forge ahead.
Yeah, they said that they asked her if she would be testifying in the case, and her reply was no comment.
I thought somewhere they had said that she would have been.
Yeah, I thought I had heard that
no,
too.
she said that she's not scared to.
Oh.
Yeah.
But they don't think it's a good idea
when
for
they
her.
did the interview with her.
What else about that? A very interesting, an alternate juror from the first case is now a part of her defense team.
So that's crazy.
Yeah.
That juror was a lawyer, I'm guessing?
That's I don't know. I just keep hearing that, but I don't know what that means.
Me too.
What?
And
yeah.
I was like, what is... I mean, that could be a good thing because they have insight knowledge to what was the problem to make a decision, which I think is wonderful. But is that... Can you do that?
I mean, I think things that will help the case is that, of course, and also that, Trooper Proctor did get fired for corruption for this case. So I think that they're going to play on that a lot. It is being shown everywhere. Yeah. And you can watch the trial live. So I would like to get into that. I think that's our phone call.
Yeah, that's interesting.
So that, and then
let's. Caller, you are live. Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. Hello.
Good morning.
Caller, you're live. Hello.
Maybe we'll try that.
Okay. I'll go into the next story. So one person killed, another injured in a Roxbury shooting, police say. So there was just after 11 p.m., officers responded to 2343 Washington Street in Roxbury for a report of a person shot, and the Boston police said one person was killed and another was injured in a shooting on Saturday night in Roxbury, according to the Boston police. Just after 11 p.m., officers responded to 2343 Washington Street in Roxbury for a report of a person shot, the Boston Police Department said in a statement. Officers found a man suffering from an apparent gunshot wound at the scene. According to the statement, the victim was taken to the nearby hospital where he was pronounced dead. A second victim admitted themselves to the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries, police said in the statement. And department's homicide unit is actively investigating the shooting, but no arrests have been confirmed.
Damn, there was a lot. When did this happen?
This was
Saturday.
So Saturday was on fire.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Everything was going on Saturday. Because Saturday was crazy.
And a lot of people made the observance, of course, that it was the first really warm day.
Yep, very true.
And so that's crazy.
We do have a caller on the line. Caller, are you there? Spark FM online. Hello? Hello? Caller, you're there? All right. No. Okie dokie. What else do we got going on?
He said she's trying to call and there's no answer.
Yeah. Okay.
And then this really cute story. So you know that this month, my mic was. You know that this month is Autism Acceptance Month, and I thought that it was Autism Awareness, but it's called Autism Acceptance Month, and so. My mic has been turned on. Several kids to voice train announcements as part of MBTA new partnership with Autism Transit Project. So April is Autism Acceptance Month, and this year the MBTA is taking part in the Autism Transit Project for the very first time. As part of the project, local children and young adults with autism will record 37 different public service announcements that will play over trained speakers all month long. Sorry. Okay. All month long. As a part of the project, local children and young adults with autism will record 37 different public service announcements that will play over the train speaker. The tween behind one of those voices, Lila McNitt, 12, recorded the announcements that will play every hour throughout the MBTA transit system on Tuesday. The announcements will include tips on how to safely board trains and remember to be kind while riding the T. McNitt's mom, Genevieve Coyne, learned about the program through her school and knew her daughter would be perfect for the opportunity. Lila is very brave. She does things way outside her comfort zone, so we knew this would be a great opportunity to share with who she is and celebrate autism and acceptance. So yeah, she nailed it.
And this is off the back of your chief health executive talking about the autism spectrum.
Oh yeah, Health and Human Services man. Talking about children on the autism spectrum, of course, right? McNitt says that she practiced a lot and even at school, which all paid off when she got to hear her very own recording inside the Park Street station on Tuesday. The T said the goal of the announcements is to raise awareness about autism and provide a platform for children to showcase their talents and make a positive impact on public transportation. It's a wonderful program that goes beyond just acceptance and understanding, but inclusion and just celebrating the diversity of what we all are, Coyne said. They are such an important part of our community because we think differently. The T will host a reception later in the week to thank everyone for participating in the program. And like you said, I think that our little town of Boston, our state of Massachusetts is just doing the opposite of everything that the administration of the United States is trying to push. And so it's really just very interesting to see
it's
the
almost like we're
contrast.
trolling them.
Yeah.
Like a safe city, a diverse city, a city inclusive to all. You know, we got the taxes, we got the DEI, we have everything here.
Yes.
We have everything here that they're trying to dismantle.
Right. We are the birthplace of democracy.
This is true. So we're gonna go ahead and take a quick pause for the cause. When we come back, we will be speaking with Samantha from the Alvin Ailey Dance Theater, and we'll be right back.
And they're practicing our Chez-Vous while they're here.
Oh, are they?
Yeah, they're using Chez-Vous to practice.
Okay. Thank you, and we'll be right back.
You are now listening to Spark FM.
Each and every Saturday night from 6 to 9 p.m. inside the Avenue, where you bring the drinks and we bring the vibe. My name is Gary Banton alongside my co-host Big Trini, right here in SparkFMOnline.com, the number one place for soca, hip hop, R&B, and more. Each and every Saturday from 6 to 9 p.m. It's the Avenue.
Looking for a meaningful way to engage with your community and make a difference? Volunteer with the Massachusetts Senior Medicare Patrol Program and help prevent Medicare fraud. Visit masmp.org. This project is supported by a grant from the U.S. Administration for Community Living.
JP Morgan Chase is making a global commitment to break down barriers to drive inclusive economic growth all over the world. We believe there is a pressing need to help more people move up the economic ladder. That is why we are investing in communities and people to create an economy that works for all, because no community should be left behind. Right here in Boston, we're focusing that work in Dorchester, Roxbury, and Mattapan, among other neighborhoods, on improving financial health. These efforts aim to address the key drivers of the racial wealth divide head-on. We're here to empower individuals, families, and small businesses by connecting them to the tools that build generational wealth and a long-lasting legacy. Chase is investing in Boston. Chase is investing in you. Visit us at the Mattapan branch at 1617 Blue Hill Avenue, where the team is waiting to help.
Spark FM.
I know you nasty. She be touching on her own body.
Igniting the airwaves. Spark FM.
Says she wanna take me away. Says she wanna take me away. Says she wanna show me the way.
Join us on Facebook and Instagram at SparkFMOnline.com. Turn us up. Spark FM.
Spark FM Online, number one for urban and Caribbean music. We are back in the building, and we never left. We just took a quick pause for the cause. But like we said, we have a really, really great show lined up to you today. We're talking with our good friend Conan Harris, who is collaborating with Meet Boston to bring one of the biggest career fairs and pretty much networking events that Boston can get. So if you're looking for a job of any type of sort, this is the time for you. Welcome to the show, Conan. How are you?
Having me. We're well overdue, sis.
We
so I'm
sure
glad that I'm
are.
here with you all. Definitely.
Absolutely. Well, first of all, tell us about your organization, Conan Harris and Associates, and then kind of tell us about this collaboration with Meet Boston.
Yes. A little over 6 years ago, I created Conan Harris and Associates. I came from the world of philanthropy and government, and I saw that there was great people doing work in our community and great resources in downtown.
Yeah.
And sometimes those things would not merge. And
All
so
the
I
time
wanted
they
to
would.
make sure that I start to fill that gap.
Yeah.
So it was all about how do I bring industry and resource from downtown and make sure it's connected with people that's doing great work in community.
That's good.
Yeah.
So what does that look like?
So how it happens is that I'm in a management consulting firm.
Yeah.
We specialize in strategic planning, capacity building, and executive coaching. And then we've started to build that out. And now we specialize in workforce development and supplier diversity as well. We added that to our portfolio. And so we work with these different corporations and we make sure that anything we do, that we bring community around whatever's happening. And so that comes up with the career fair. Meet Boston, who is this large tourist organization dealing with our tourist and hospitality partners. They're doing their 4th annual career fair. And we've been working with them over the last 2 years on workforce development and supply diversity.
Yeah.
This is our 2nd career fair with them. And our goal is to make sure that all of our community is a part of this.
How was the first one? Because it's your second one.
Yes.
How was the first one? How was the turnout of that last year?
No, it was beautiful. Man, we had over 500 people show up. Yeah, it's in downtown Boston at the Hyatt Regency.
Yeah.
And it's right there where people can get off the train, the orange line, the red line, and get on the bus, the silver line, and be right there.
That's so great. What type of jobs are being offered there? Like, what can people look forward to?
So last year we had over 80 employers, and this is CEOs of hotels, this is executives of over hotels that are hiring folks to work in the tourist attraction and hospitality industry. So when you think of that, you think of everything from hotels, you think of restaurants, you think of tourist attractions, the duck tours, everything that's involved. This is the 3rd largest economic sector in the city of Boston. This is a $20 billion industry. And I think that our community hasn't always been a part of it.
Sure haven't.
And when we think about the industry, we say, I don't want to work in no hotel and be cleaning no rooms. I don't want to, but people forget there's jobs all in between that mid-level and executive roles that pay a great deal.
Like concierge and front desk and all that.
Yes.
Can I ask a question though? Just to stir it up a little bit.
Go ahead.
Last year we heard a lot of things about protests that were happening with people in this industry.
Yeah.
So how do we convince people that they should look for jobs in this industry if we're
That's a great question.
No. I'm glad that you say that. Any job you're gonna have in unions, they're gonna fight for their higher wage, right? It's called negotiation, right? You look at the NBA, that's a union job. These folks, it's gonna be times where folks get to the table and then they're gonna have to protest and negotiate. You see what happened in Hollywood with union and writers, they're gonna have to come to the table and negotiate. That's what these industries call for, and you want that. You want that peaceful protest and you want that negotiation. But it's an industry that pays a great deal. And our community needs to be a part of it.
Definitely.
It's $20 billion. And if we're not seeing that as an entryway to be a part of, then we got to make sure we're bringing light to that.
I want to stir things up a little bit more.
Always stir it up.
Politically, we know that you're tied to a very prominent political figure, Ayanna Pressley, and that's not where I want to go. More so with the politics surrounding DEI, workforce, jobs, everything like that. Why is this so important to you to do this career fair, given the state of where we are right now in the country?
So first and foremost, it's okay to tie me there.
Yeah.
I'm a complete married man and been with my wife 15 years. So it's okay to tie me right there. But what I will say is that you see the country in this direction that that person in the White House is taking.
Yeah.
Our city has held strong, though. You
Yeah.
seen our mayor say, no, we're going to be a sanctuary city. We're going to stand for something different. And that same that same mindset has to go down the industry.
Yeah.
And so Boston, while the world is trying to pull away and figure out, they're pulling in.
Yeah.
They're deciding to step all the way in and say, wait a minute, this industry, this huge industry that is the third largest sector in our city, in the greater Boston, we need to be making sure all of our residents are a part of this.
Yeah.
Not just from a workforce level, not just from an executive level, but also from a contractor level. There's that supply diversity piece. And so that was so important. While the world is trying to figure out how to push out, as Boston, we got to push in and claim that. Say, no, we're not going to go the direction that the country's trying to.
We were literally just having that conversation. It almost feels like Boston is trolling the rest of the country. You know, like what it looks like when we do work together and when we are inclusive to all. Again, Boston leaders in totality, from the mayor to the governor to our Congress lady, are out here on the front lines being really unapologetic about fighting for our rights. And then here you are with this initiative to really kind of get people in the workforce in an industry that is, again, big, but you know, it's still going to be looked at. It's still going to be stigmatized a little bit. You know, like, how are you convincing people that, you know, like, we have to kind of continue to work together, get these jobs, and grow in them?
No. So this is not just an ordinary career fair. And what I mean by that is that we're not just having employers there and people coming to just meet with employers. We have workshops there as well. And part of our workshops is how to excel in customer service.
Good.
Because the hospitality industry is all about the interaction between you and your customer, right? And so we want to make sure we're training folks about that. And then we're also doing charting your own path. How do you navigate from entry level to management level? Because we see that a great deal. We have a lot of our folks, there's great points in all work, but we see some of that way of learning how to navigate from some of these entry level roles to that, how to get to those management roles. And you want to know how to have that level of self-advocacy, knowing that it starts internally and then you be able to chart your own path and navigate the landscape.
I think it's important because that's something that I feel is like a silent killer, is that people get into these jobs and they're like, well, I want to climb, but I don't know how. Or, you know, I guess I got to get this entry level job so I can work my way up to the top. But how do I do it? How do I navigate it? Yeah. How do I negotiate? How do I do these things?
How do you advocate for yourself? How do you have a mentor in the workplace that you talk to that is on that higher level? How do they walk you through the process? And then I just want to also add, the other thing that we're going to have here that was a big hit last year is that we got folks ready and prepared. We had haircuts, free haircuts. We got free headshots, and we got sisters getting their makeup done. So folks is coming,
ready.
Folks came, and so we don't want to just have you just meet with folks. We want to make sure you're prepared to start a career, to get a job. Some folks, we want to make sure our college students are coming through, but this is for our community as well. This is for folks in Mattapan. This is for folks in Dorchester, folks in Roxbury, Hyde Park. We want our neighborhoods to be a part of this industry. Imagine this hidden gem that's worth $20 billion in our city, and we're not a part of it.
Wow.
And we have this stigmatization about what it is or what it isn't, but don't realize folks are getting paid a great deal to work in this industry. We're just not there.
That's it. We're not there.
We're not there.
We're not there.
We're not there.
And thank you for putting this together. And we are hoping that people will hear about it, will come out, and just let us know the logistics about it again.
Yes, the business.
So it is from 11 to 3 p.m. It's at the Boston Regency Hyatt downtown. And you come in, meet with employers, talk to them, come dressed for success, be ready with your resume in hand. Now, make sure you register at meetbostoncareerfair.com. Make sure that you go there and register right on that website. But if you don't register, it's a free event. You just show up. We'll register you right there on site and make sure that you get a chance to present yourself in front of employers.
Are people getting hired on site?
Yeah, they could get hired on site. Absolutely. That's why I have them employers there. I'm like, listen, we got to make sure we got folks in the room that are serious about work, that folks get the opportunity to be hired on the spot. Interestingly enough, the second career fair, Meet Boston, it ain't just entry-level roles either. Meet Boston hired an executive vice president on one of the job sites. That person makes makes 6 figures, right? And so it ain't just entry-level roles. This is career opportunities. This is folks who want internships. This is folks who want part-time employment. But this is also career exploration because you have folks that will be hiring for different levels of employment.
Yeah, and it's geared towards adults.
It's geared towards adults and our college students.
Okay. Is there a certain age? Is it 18 plus or?
I think it's 17 plus.
17 plus.
Because what you see over the summertime, folks are hiring people and making sure that there's opportunity for them too. So some of our high school students that are seniors, they should be down there as well if there's an opportunity too.
Because you said there's part-time work. There's probably people that's looking for per diem and all kinds of different stuff. Summertime, seasonal help.
And we do know that there's a lot of kids who aren't interested in going to college right away. Seniors who aren't going to college right away. You get yourself into this career path, into this industry, and the sky's the limit.
Absolutely.
Just kind of reiterating some of the things that will be there. Receive free headshots, complete with complimentary hair and makeup, which is great because I'm gonna come anyways to get my hair and makeup done. I'm gonna get me a little jobby job, a little part-time, we can schedule on-site job interviews. So if you go there and you don't schedule an interview right there, they probably can schedule you right where you are to come in the next day and meet with the professionals and participate in professional and development workshops. And I think that is probably one of the most things, because while you're there, you're walking around collecting all the free pens and the papers and the chapstick. But then at some point, what if I want to just sit down and just find out about what I'm getting into? I just want somebody to kind of walk me through where we're at. I might have just random questions about transportation or anything like that. And you never know what you can find there. So I'm excited about things like this.
We'll have volunteers there all throughout. So if you have questions, we have workshops there. So if you want to peek your head and sit down and go through some of that and learn that resource, then you're on the list to get your hair cut. You got your resume in hand, and you walk in that room and engage employers.
I wanted to ask you about the resume piece, because I know a lot of people who are just going into their careers don't necessarily have a resume ready. Is there going to be a service that can help them with their resume?
Not there on site.
Okay.
I think that not there on site, but I would still recommend coming and meeting folks, because what you'll do is you'll find a job and you'll start to say, hold on, this is something that I'm more interested in. You get their card and you follow up, and then you put your resume and apply for that job.
I like that.
Go ahead.
I wanted to know, can you give us a name of some of the employees that would be there?
So there's will be a great deal there. The duck tours there will be the hotels. We have so many different hotels in the city of Boston.
I was gonna
we
help
have
you
Meet
out.
Boston there. We'll have a lot of the different sectors that are in hospitality. You'll see some of the restaurants there.
I see sports
I see,
teams.
including hotels, casinos, entertainment venues, sports teams, destination management companies, tourism and attractions, meetings and conventions, travel and transportation, and more. That's all of the good jobs. Hotel, restaurants, travel, duck tours, sport tours, the sport. That's what caught me.
And you have museums there too. You have the museums there because sometimes folks want to know the history of Boston.
Yeah.
And you have them kind of tours that are right there as well. They can't wait to hire folks.
Yeah.
It's interesting. I met with them and I was like, listen, Conan, we would like I said that's a lot of brainiac work. We're gonna get some of the school teachers that are not working during the summer. That this could be an extra job for them.
Oh yeah, that's very true.
Yeah, no, this is school teachers that have the summer off and they want to earn an extra couple dollars.
Yeah.
This is a job you can get in some of there, work with some of these museums, some of these stores that tell the history of our city. And they're looking for more people of color because you think about the history of our city, especially over there in Beacon Hill, talking about all the Frederick Douglass, all the history that all of our folks have done in this city.
And those are the places
you
that
want
we're not
people
really
of color to be able to explain that. And so we're looking for everybody should come. You're welcome.
Yes.
Especially so the two workshops, 12:30 to 1:15, were excelling in customer service, insights from hospitality and tourism experts. Amazing workshop. I ain't been there, but that's something that's excelling in customer service. We need that. Oftentimes we go to many different places and be like, customer service was terrible. It was terrible. You ain't getting no tip.
Like the way they approached me. Come see, I was sitting here all this time.
I'm a manager.
My ice wasn't icy enough. Like those things. And then at 1:30, you are charting your course, navigating the path from entry level to leadership in hospitality and tourism. Another very pivotal workshop that I think is very much needed. And we talked about that a little bit is, getting in the door, getting your foot in the door and then working your way up to the top. Yeah. How did you get your foot in the door? What's your employment story?
So literally, my employment story is I volunteered a lot, right? I'll give you a good example. One of my first jobs, I want to say about not my first job, but I want to say 20 years ago, I used to work at the back of a trash truck and sanitation work. I had a degree where I wanted to work with young people, and I started to volunteer. I used to go to YMCAs, do workshops with young people, develop my own curriculum, speak at colleges, talk about violence intervention and prevention work. And then I started working. I went on a few interviews and started working at a low level as a supervisor, engaging young people around workforce development. And then all of a sudden, still volunteering at different places. And my next jobs after that, I didn't have to go apply. I got recruited.
Okay, so they came looking for you.
They came looking. Once they saw the work ethic and they saw how a person showed up consistently, what ended up taking place is that I was recruited for the rest of my jobs.
Wow.
So it's a complete
Each level, I swear to you that I didn't apply. I got recruited.
I think that's really important too, to just hear about the power of hard work. And about being visible, and not necessarily you got to look at what I'm doing today, but just being there, showing up, consistency, making sure that you show people that this is what you want. Be dedicated
with your craft. Because listen, it was so important for me, and now this is not everybody, and this is not to say that anybody who's not is not great on their own. I refuse to lose in anything that I'm doing, so I go after it, and if I have to learn it to be great at it, I'm going to make sure.
Learn it.
Like this career fair, I'm going to come to the radios, I'm going to be on social media, I'm going to be on TV. We're going to make sure that our community knows that this is taking place because we belong everywhere. And we can't say we want these industry and here's this big nugget that we ain't touching.
And then we're not going
to.
And that's the problem that I feel like Boston has too. I'm going to get on y'all, Boston. We complain a lot about what we don't have, but when people put it there, we're still not going. Now, if they're doing their due diligence to hit every sector, hit every media, hit all in the street and in the road, all you got to do is show up and get a job. All you got to do is show up and get paid.
And show up and work. Be dedicated to your craft and be in the industry. Another thing about it, think about our tourist attraction in this industry. Next year is going to be huge. We got FIFA coming. We celebrating the 250th year of Massachusetts.
And we were talking the other day just about the Boston Marathon and how much it brings into the city.
We need to be a part of that.
We do. We
need to
show up.
Deliberately a part of that. And that goes back to the foundation, the reason why I started Cohen Harris and Associates. I see some great resources that exist, but I always see our community not always a part of it. So my goal is to help merge those two.
Absolutely.
So this fits us right in our pocket. Here's a resource, $20 billion industry. And here's this company that's saying, no. I want us all to be a part of it. Let's make sure that our community knows that this exists. Let's make sure that we're playing a part, playing a role, and being involved.
I think that's Very important. That's a great way to leave off. Again, just the stats about the event. It's on the 29th.
Next Tuesday on the 29th from 11 to 3 p.m.
Where?
At the Boston Regency Hyatt downtown. Right over there. I'm about to outdate some folks where the old Lafayette Mall used to be. You know what I mean?
Oh, I know what it is.
Come on now.
What you know about that?
I'm telling on my age a little bit. You know?
I used to be in there at Taco Bell. So I know
Back in the days, you know.
So the Tuesday, the 29th, and it's from 11
to 3
11
p.m.
to 3.
At the Boston Regency Hyatt, man.
You guys, it's a long day, so make sure. Make sure that you guys get there. Get there in the morning. Get you something to eat. Get your coffee, and then go in there ready to work, ready to get a job, represent, and just to talk to people. Even if you're not looking for a job and you once thought about changing careers or getting into something, this might be a really great opportunity to just find out what's out there. And the hospitality industry, like you said, is huge, especially here in Boston.
Let me just say this to you. You said something. You could be in your mid-career and figuring out, listen, I've been doing this work for a very long time. And we saw this last year. You could be, I've done this work for a very long time. I need to figure out what's next.
Yes.
And a lot of folks, especially in this climate, are trying to figure out what's next.
Absolutely.
And so you want to make sure that you're opening opportunity for yourself to see what's next.
Yeah.
And go out there and have conversations with people, see what may interest you. It may not be a thing, but it may be a thing.
Yeah.
And we don't need to miss out on if something may be a thing.
Yeah.
So we want to put our best foot forward, come down and seek opportunity and see where the resources are at to make sure that all of our community is a part of it.
And one more time, the website about where they can register for this career fair and sign up and or just come down.
meetboston.com/career fairs.
Easy. Yes. Career fairs. I'm looking for a career. I want to go to career fair. You could probably even just Google Meet Boston Career Fair and it will pop up for you.
Sign right
yes,
up.
Sign
we
right
would
up.
love to have you there. But even if you decide, oh my God, I forgot, I didn't sign up. It's a free event.
Yeah.
Come right down and be a part of it.
Just come right through.
Sounds great. Thank you so much for coming in, Cohen. It was great talking to you. Great having you here. And we will.
Yes. Thank you for having. I was like, what is happening here?
Everything's happening.
No, at once. No, for real. Thank you so much for coming down. I think it's really important that you are actively and intentionally getting to the Black and Brown communities and making sure that we know about that, because oftentimes we don't know about things, and we want
stuff always happening in our community, and
we didn't know.
You know
now
what I'm
you
saying?
know. Yeah.
And so let me just say this to you. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations on all your successes.
Thank you very much.
This is well overdue for us to be able to sit down, man. And I'm super proud of the work that y'all are putting in every day. Continuously growing and making sure you're opening your doors to community as well.
Absolutely.
So thank you.
Community is here. We will take some quick pictures and we're going to pay some bills and we'll be right back. Remember, April 29th, 11 to 3, we going to get some jobs.
Boston.
Right. I was going to say thank you, but just like how you thanked us, thank you and your wife for doing your work.
Absolutely.
You guys have been,
we need that type of leadership out here. We need to see it, and we are very appreciative. Yeah,
unapologetic.
Go out. We're like, fight for us, please help us. Spark FM Online, #1 for urban and Caribbean music. We'll be right back.
Come on, great stuff.
You're listening to Saucy and Friends in the morning with Miss Hot Sauce, Miss Tony, and Rockstone Triz.
What is this, Doctor?
This is
the Spark of New England, Spark FM. Bringing the heat back to the airwaves. Turn us up. All right, let's take a look.
Boston, Moonbug Productions proudly presents Crowns, a powerful and jubilant musical mixing gospel, jazz, and a little bit of hip-hop. Hats take center stage with an uplifting story exploring Black history, identity, and the power of sisterhood through the eyes of a young Black woman. It's a celebration of self-expression, tradition, and of course, fabulous hats. Get ready to clap your hands and tap your feet because these ladies have serious attitude. Don't miss Crowns. Opening April 11th through May 4th at the Arrow Street Arts in Cambridge. Tickets are just $55 at arrowstreetarts.org. And for flexible pricing, check out Pay What You Wish option at the box office. Crowns. April 11th through May 4th. Come for the hats, stay for the celebration.
Advertise your business, brand, or music on Spark FM. Contact us at sparkfmonline.com for more information.
Praise the Lord, City of Boston. This is Brother Chris right here on Spark FM.
Come on, sing it.
Bringing you Sunday morning worship each and every Sunday morning, 6 to 10 a.m. Let's get our praise on.
We all make choices about alcohol. Kids make choices whether to drink or not.
Bye, Dad. Remember, I'm going to Alex's party tonight and sleeping over.
Hey, remind me about that party again?
And adults make choices whether to talk about it. That's true of parents and every other trusted adult in a kid's life. Kids want to know our expectations, and they want honest answers in everyday conversations. So talk with your kids and help lead them on a positive path, because when you talk, they hear you. Learn more at underagedrinking.samhsa.gov.
Each and every Saturday night from 6 to 9 p.m. inside the Avenue, where you bring the drinks and we bring the vibe. My name is Gary Banton alongside my co-host Big Trini right here in SparkFMOnline.com, the #1 place for soca, hip-hop, R&B, and more. Each and every Saturdays from 6 to 9 p.m. It's the Avenue.
Boston's new home for urban Caribbean music. Spark FM. Spark FM. Playing all your favorite hits from reggae. Spark FM.
If you no mess with we, you are gonna see a million. We got it gon' go long just like the Amazon.
Spark FM.
I know that life not easy. No say we are for win. Walk with the camera like Jesus.
Soca. Hip hop.
Yeah, we on and we going crazy.
R&B.
You could do damage. You could do damage.
Afrobeats and much more. Spark FM. Spark FM.
Yeah. Switching four lanes. Two sides of the same coin. But you can keep the change. Yeah, that sound. Yo, I'ma pop the cork in this bottle and get lifted when the clip hold 30 the pole hit different. I'm a guard shooting from the logo like Lillard. I'm a star trying to have all my bros in position. Reputation excellence, this big step is Fly Street interceptionless. When it come to the town, who gon' represent? When it come to the town, who gon' rep it like this? Near not. Remember when the pack land, we touch at a damn dollar until we clear product young flossy. But I'm still good with all the raw. This is Boston, no crabs in my barrel, just lobster. Cause I can't go heavy on the grand reach for it. But it'll cost you your hands, it'll cost you your mans, that'll cost me some bands. I'm a boss, I only talk when I can, so fitted like Fashion Week. So I showed up late fashionably. Shorties greet me by your majesty and give me numbers. I'm only getting older, feeling younger. I hit 2 times the ass scratches. You can't lash your air backwards. I'm from a main street, we stop traffic. Every time she see Avis orgasms.
I'ma cut the seal on the pack and let the aroma breathe. LA Ritz or runs 30 plus on the potency. Spent the OKC KD to get the Rollie. 35 but it's worth 50 soon as I hold it. I appreciate, never depreciate. Don't make me deviate, alleviate. Pull a heist, leave with the secret safe. I'm missing details in my verses to mislead the cops. You missing details in your verses, never seen a block. You never been in it for real, you just dream a lot. I seen a lot. If my eyes could talk, they wouldn't speak a lot. I'ma just live by the code, I can't shake it. Loyalty for I got to pay what I never break it. Make a flip and move to Jamaica to stretch the paper. I'm never coming back, America full of haters. Wearing proud American cups in all flavors. And I'm retired, not from doing favors.
I know I'm the greatest. Sometimes you gotta prove it yourself. Like having shooters, sometimes you gotta do it yourself. Acting like you got it, homie, you just fooling yourself. Playing invincible, knowing that's not good for your health. You see the team, double up your bets on the chip. I pick him and roll, they love me like Kevin in his. I look good in the 5, but look better in the 6 to fly. With mine, it look better when it mix. They say on my name like they want action out here. crazy. You see how niggas acting out here? They want freestyles and niggas ain't taxing out here. I get it so many ways like the Braxtons out here. Baby, I ain't hating, but tell me, what do you see in him? She want a cuff, but no, there's no police in them. They talking top 5, well, I'm like 3 of them. Even with no faith, so they believe in them.
You're listening to Saucy and Friends in the morning with Miss Hot Sauce, Miss Tony, and Rockstone Triz.
That's crazy. Spark FM Online, number 1 for urban and Caribbean. Spark FM Online.
It feels like a Monday in here today.
It do.
I don't know.
Like,
It seems like
confused in my soul.
What is it? Murphy's Law? Everything that could go wrong is going wrong. Like, what is happening in here today?
Weird. Let's try to get back on cue. We did have a phone call lined up, but unfortunately, we're experiencing some insane technical difficulties. And we don't know what to do about that. So we'll figure it out when we get off. But we're going to keep on going with the show. In the meantime, things to know about collection referrals from student loans in default. I heard that if you owe student loans, anything that you even defaulted, they going to start taking out your wages. They going to come for you. They coming for you. Starting next month, the education department says student loans that are in default will be referred by collection. That's how. Caller, you're live.
Hello?
Can you hear us?
Hi.
Hi! We did it!
Oh my gosh.
What? Girl, we was over here just stressed out. Like, what we supposed to do now?
Calling you.
Is Mercury and is Mercury and micrograde?
Really, seriously,
Yeah.
whatever it is, it probably is, or one of the other ones. It's so good to speak to you. So on the line, we have Samantha, who is one of the wonderful dancers from the Alvin Ailey Dance Theater, who will be in Boston performing this weekend. And we are so excited about that, and we're excited every time Alvin Ailey comes. Welcome to Spark FM. Thank you for calling.
Oh, no problem. Thank you for having me. You know, I'm so excited to be in Boston. This is always around the last part of tour, and it's always just so sweet. The audience there is amazing. And, yeah, we have our travel day today, so we'll be seeing you soon.
Oh, great.
I'm excited about that.
Yeah. When did the tour start? How long have you been on tour now?
Yeah, tour started January 31st.
Wow.
So
and goes till
what
when?
city are we in? It goes till May 11th.
Oh my goodness!
So we are in our 17th tour stop.
Wow!
Stop number 17. Yes. So it's been a long one, but we are making it.
How many shows do in 17 stops? How many shows have you done? Is it just one show per stop or?
No. So Boston, we're playing from Thursday through Saturday. So some cities we do a full week there. In other cities, other weeks, we split the week down into 2. So we'll tour, let's say like Santa Barbara is what we just came from, Santa Barbara, and we did Mesa all in 1 week.
Wow.
So with that, we'll do 2 or 3 shows in a city. We'll do a children's performance, a matinee performance. And, then head out.
Wow.
But, yeah, so we have a nice weekend full of performances with you guys in Boston. And, yeah, we're just always excited to be there.
Sometime last month, there was an Alvin Ailey workshop at one of our local roller skating rinks, and there were two Alvin Ailey dancers did a workshop there, and that had such a great turnout. And I think that was just so timely for you guys arriving now. This is awesome.
Yeah.
So tell us about the show this time. What is the tour about? Was there a theme? What's going on this year?
Yeah. Well, again, this year, I mean, we are just always bringing the legacy, bringing the joy. Unfortunately, this year we lost our artistic director emerita, Judith Jamison, the amazing Judith Jamison. And so with that passing, it is our mission
Condolences.
to celebrate her legacy in motion. That's all about what this tour is about, is just celebrating legacy in motion. So that's really what our focus is with this tour. But we have some amazing pieces that we are bringing to Boston. We have Sacred Songs by Matthew Rushing, our current artistic director in interim. And he's also a former Ailey dancer. And we have 2 other pieces by former Ailey dancers, Jamar Roberts, which is out on the list Blues, and Hope Boykin. She choreographed a beautiful dance called Finding Free. And, you know, all of those pieces is giving music, okay? We are celebrating the music and the spirit of Ailey. So come out to the show to see those pieces. And then we have Many Angels, which is a revival by Lar Lubavitch. They're beautiful. It's just like a breath of fresh air. You need a calm in this crazy world. So that Many Angels is really going to give you heaven on earth for sure. And of course, our famous Revelations, our centerpiece.
Yes.
We're so excited to bring that. You know, the audiences always love it. And it's just a beautiful exchange between the dancers and the audiences. And so we're just very proud and grateful to be continuing that legacy and sharing Mr. Ailey's work.
And we appreciate it here.
I feel like I've never been to one. What would you say is the most thing that people anticipate from Alvin and Ailey?
One thing that the audiences really come to see Alvin Ailey, I think everyone is always touched by the spirit of Revelations.
Yes.
It's just something that you can really relate to, especially in the world we're in today, and how those stories, while it was created, back in 1960, it still resonates so profoundly in today's world. But, you got to let Ailey lift you. It's all about the human experience. And every dancer you see on stage, all throughout the work, you're going to see a version of yourself on stage, whether it be in your joy, in your triumph, in your trial. We really want to connect with the audiences in that way and really, be a mirror to society. So come see your brothers and sisters.
I love the theater and I love dancing and things like such. So I think this would be a very, just an experience, and I think that's what people get from Alvin Ailey is just like the experience and seeing the dedication and passion from the dancers and production and everything like that. How long have you been dancing?
Ooh, it's been 11 years.
Wow, that's so great.
Yes.
11 years of dancing sounds like a lot. a lot of dancing.
It is truly an experience.
Yes. And good for you. And thank you so much for taking the time to speak with us today. We do have a treat for our audience. We have tickets. We have a ticket giveaway. So we'll handle that after we get up the
weekend.
Yes, it is. Alvin Ailey winning weekend. We love a winning weekend.
And it's running Thursday through Sunday this weekend here in Boston. If you've never experienced it, definitely get out there, see it. It is an experience, and it's so historical that you really feel you really connect with it, and it's just amazing. So we will be giving out those tickets over the weekend. Samantha, best of luck to you and the rest of the dance theater with the rest of your season, and thank you so much for taking the time to talk to us today.
No, thank you for having me.
And sorry for the technical difficulties.
And thank you for your patience.
We are adaptable. We make it work, okay?
Appreciate you. Thank you so much. Take care.
Yes, you too. Create a great day.
Thank you. Oh, I love that.
Create a great day.
A great day. That is beautiful.
Yes.
Love that. Thank you for that.
Okay, it's your creation, okay?
Absolutely.
You put it into the air. You make the action, the right action.
That's right.
So, yeah.
I love that.
Make it happen, you guys.
Thank you. Take care.
Of course.
Bye-bye.
Have a good
We are going to Alvin Ailey, and you can too.
Yes, you can.
We'll give away a pair of tickets right now while we set up for our national and world news.
Yes.
So if you are, what you want to do?
Let's do, if you know the name of the creative director who this season is being geared to. It's right there. It's right there.
I was so nervous. I was like, how will I know that?
You never been to any Alvin Ailey sauce?
I don't think so.
The Black Nativity? You never been to the Black Nativity?
I've been to the Black Nativity, but not with an Alvin Ailey dance crew.
Yeah,
no. So,
but no, Alvin Ailey. I went a few years back, and it was just very, very interesting. Like for me, it was just kind of like the history of going to see Alvin Ailey. It felt very. You know,
black
and black.
Black and
How long has Alvin Ailey been around?
Since 1960.
1960.
Wow.
Yeah. It's awesome.
Such a prominent name too.
17 cities. 17
and
cities,
multiple shows in those things.
Man,
wow.
The stamina that it takes to do that, because they be dancing.
Well, I mean, technically.
Oh boy.
I be dancing too.
Here we go now.
Yeah, we went to Metco back in the days. Thank you, Wanda.
I don't remember. I don't think Metco took us.
I don't think Metco took me.
Yeah, they didn't take
Wanda,
me either.
I don't know how you got to
They
go.
always had tickets in Metco.
Oh, see, that's maybe the thing. Maybe I heard that there was always tickets, but I don't think we never indulged in the tickets.
No, I went to Alvin Ailey once as an adult a few years back. And
Who was y'all Metco director?
Miss Burns.
Miss Burns.
Thelma D. Burns.
I was Mrs. Munn, so definitely went.
Thelma D. Burns even got us. She got a building over there.
Sky cap.
Yes. They just sky cap it right out.
Yep.
Let's get into our national news. Things to know about the collection referrals for student loans. We started to get into this a little bit. Starting next month, the Education Department says student loans that are in default will be referred to by collections.
So they're not.
You can't even default on your loans no more. You can't even write a little letter and say, I can't pay this month, because they'll be like, oh, that's too bad. We'll just garnish your wages.
Like there's any wages to be garnished.
Roughly 5.3 million borrowers are in default on their federal student loans and soon could be subject to having their wages garnished. Referrals for collection had been put on hold since March of 2020 because of the COVID-19 pandemic, when the U.S. government also paused federal student loan payments and interest accrual as a temporary relief measure. The grace period has extended multiple times by the Biden administration and ended in October. One of the borrowers facing more severe consequences is Kate Hanchin, who works in higher education information technology in Michigan. My stomach dropped immediately as soon as I read the news, said Hanchin, 33. I wanted to throw up because I already live paycheck to paycheck. Hanchin said she owes nearly 85,000 American dollars in debt between their undergraduate and master's degree, and even with an income-driven repayment plan, Hanchin said she could not afford to pay those loans off on top of other expenses, including a mortgage and medical bills. And Tristan will give us a little clip of this. Eggs still
falling behind on their student loans, racing for their wallets to take a hit.
The government can and will collect defaulted federal student loan debt by withholding money from borrowers, tax refunds, federal pensions, and even their wages.
The Department of Education announcing Monday it will start collecting on defaulted student loans on May 5th. For the first time since the pandemic.
There have been no repayments since March of 2020. It is not fair that other people are having to assume this burden that other taxpayers are paying for these loans.
According to the Department of Education, almost 43 million borrowers owe more than $1.6 trillion in student loans. Of those, 62% are not currently paying them back. That can be due to several reasons. Some of those borrowers are in forbearance or deferment, meaning their loans are on pause. They could be in a 6-month grace period or still in school, or they fall into a final category. Delinquency or default. 5 million borrowers are in default, meaning they haven't made a payment in more than 9 months. And another 4 million are in late stage delinquency, meaning they haven't paid in 3 to 6 months and could soon default. The White House says their bill is coming due.
We must get our fiscal house in order and restore common sense to our country. If you take out a loan, you have to pay it back. It's very simple. President Trump will not kick the can down the road anymore.
Borrowers who remain in default may also eventually have their
because that's just wickedness.
It is.
And you know what bothers me the most is that people for the majority of people, y'all don't know where the hell your tax dollars are going in the first place for you guys to be so gung-ho over which way versus another way. Y'all would be mad at people who took out a loan, doctors who took out a loan to save your life, and you want them to pay it back, but you are okay with your tax dollars going towards subsidizing wealthy people's private education for their children.
Do you think that this is I know that we know that there's some kind of agenda, right, against the country and to make the country go backwards.
Yeah.
I don't know what that MAGA, they need to change that whole slogan. But do you think that this is a way to defer people from actually wanting to go to college so that we can dumb down America even more?
The agenda is to dumb down America. He has said he loves the uneducated because they will do whatever he says to do.
Yeah.
So if I block early education, if I block late education, and if I block the education that y'all thought y'all got before, but you can't afford to live or nothing like that. You can't get no job because you got to pay back the thing. Now you in jail in default, and now you live on the street. By default, everybody's going to have to beg to get some scraps of something because this administration only cares about the people that are surrounding them, and they're all rich, wealthy, and white, and that's it. That's
crazy.
it.
That's crazy.
And I don't understand why people don't understand that. I don't understand why people can argue a different logic than what we're seeing because we're seeing it unfold. You want to garnish people's wages because they can't pay their school loan bills back?
Yeah.
You want to take away money out of their pocket to eat and survive when in the middle of a inflation and a depression and all kinds of stuff because you want the money to come back to the federal government.
For what though?
And you're still giving Elon Musk $14 million or $14 billion government contracts to what? Build a friggin' spaceship? We live on Earth. I thought it was America first.
They said that, speaking of Elon Musk, they said that Elon Musk's stock in Tesla has dropped 70%.
70%.
70%.
It should drop 97%.
All the percent. Very nice.
You know what a big story was yesterday that I don't see here in our thing? Pete Hegseth, the Secretary of Defense, caught sharing a text conversation about national secrets, this time with his brother and his wife on that same Signal app. So that happened again. They've discovered that, and he's saying that it's fake news and that American journalism is just American media is what did he call it? Hoaxsters. These hoaxsters are putting out this story, this fake news about him doing this because he did not release any state secrets, but they have, of course, the tapes or whatever.
So say it again. What happened?
Pete Hegseth had another conversation discussing state secrets with his wife and his brother on that same Signal app as he did before, and it got out, and he's saying that it's not true, but they have proof that it happened. And I don't know why that news isn't in our news, but that happened. Yesterday, too, militants killed at least 26 tourists at a resort in an Indian-controlled Kashmir. So they went in, gunmen shot and killed at least 26 tourists Tuesday at a resort in Indian-controlled Kashmir, police said, in what appeared to be a major shift in the regional conflict in which tourists have largely been spared. Police blamed militant fighting against Indian rule for the attack in Baz Saran Meadow, some 5 kilometers or 3 miles from the disputed region's resort town of Pahalgam. At least 36 people were wounded, many of them seriously, according to senior police officers. This attack is much larger than anything we've seen directed at civilians in recent years, Omar Abdullah, the region's top elected official, wrote on social media. This is interesting because J.D. Vance actually is in India right now. I don't know if he's there with his wife.
That's not nice because I don't know if she's Indian. Is she Indian?
She is Indian.
Okay, good.
I just don't understand why
his wife?
The shooting didn't occur where he was. At least 24 bodies were collected in the aftermath. That's what I'm saying.
Okay, I'm sorry, and I don't want to deep dive into this.
Yeah.
But y'all want to randomly shoot at things and people and go to jail for the same amount of time in which you would if you intentionally did other things. I don't understand why people are not being intentional.
They're not, everybody's got the wrong target. At least 24 bodies were collected in the aftermath of the attack, and 2 people died while being taken for medical treatment. There was no immediate claim of responsibility, and police and soldiers are searching for the attackers. They killed the 26 people. That's crazy. A woman dressed as an ICE agent kidnaps her ex-boyfriend's wife.
Say the word.
A woman dressed as an ICE agent kidnapped her ex-boyfriend's wife. Suffer the consequences of her husband's actions. Woman dressed as an ICE officer and equipped with a walkie-talkie kidnaps her ex-boyfriend's wife, cops say. Outfitted with a shirt that said ICE and equipped with a walkie-talkie she allegedly used for fake conversations with other agents. So she was like this.
Roger over and out. I got the suspect.
I've got it. Right, so she did. A Florida woman is accused of posing as a federal agent and kidnapping the wife of her ex-boyfriend.
Of course, Florida.
Officers arrested 52-year-old LaTrance Battle, damn, what a name, on charges of robbery by sudden snatching, kidnapping, and impersonating a law enforcement officer, the Bay County Sheriff's Office said in a Facebook post. Deputies responded April 10th to the Bridge Plaza Apartments in Panama City Beach, where they found the victim who was shaking and appeared to be in fear, according to a probable cause arrest affidavit reviewed.
She need her ass beat because why you do that to that lady?
The victim told deputies she was at her job at the Days Inn in Panama City that day when a woman she did not know, later identified as Battle, wearing a black jacket, pants, and a hat with a white face mask and sunglasses, walked inside. The woman unzipped her jacket and showed a shirt with ICE emblazoned across the chest. The affidavit said she also allegedly held a card that said Sheriff's Office. A card. She had a card. Unsure of what was happening, the victim told her boss she had to go with the woman she perceived as a law enforcement officer. Battle allegedly walked the victim to a car, got in the driver's seat, and ordered the victim to get in the back seat.
Let me go to the video real quick.
Yes, please, because what?
I think this is her arrest, right?
Mm-hmm. Step out. Step out. Turn around, face your car.
Oh, I thought she would say something. Okay. Damn.
This is them arresting her.
Yeah.
So basically, she told her, unsure of what she told her. The victim, meanwhile, pulled out her phone and said she wanted to call her lawyer, but Battle reached in the back seat and forcibly snatched the victim's phone from her hands, depriving her of her iPhone 11. Battle allegedly advised the victim that she couldn't have her one cell phone, then got to the sheriff's when they got to the sheriff's office. The victim told police at this point she believed that Battle was an ICE law enforcement agent, in part because she said had a handled radio and was talking into it to who the victim assumed was another ICE agent. But the victim grew suspicious after Battle drove past the location where the victim knew a sheriff's office was located. She reportedly asked Battle if there was a sheriff's office on the beach, and Battle confirmed that there was one on the beach. During this time, however, Battle kept talking bad about the victim's husband and how the victim now has to suffer the consequences of her husband's actions. They soon arrived at an apartment complex where Battle had allegedly told the victim ICE agents would be waiting for her.
She took this lady to an apartment at the ICE? Why?
After parking, she instructed the victim to get out of the car and go to room 108. But after Battle allegedly ran into the apartment and, according to the victim, made a lot of noise that she was moving stuff around and talking to someone, the victim used this opportunity to leave and ran to a man sitting in the parking lot and asked him for help. That's crazy. Wow. That is wild work. And that is our WTF national story of the day. Of the damn day.
I'm gonna do that too. I'm gonna go get me an ICE shirt. Everybody that pissed me off, I'm just gonna kidnap them. You would never know if I wasn't ICE or not. The ICE don't identify and put a poo shiesty on. I could just kidnap anybody with an ICE mask on.
All y'all better that know you know that it's you.
Nope. They don't, and they don't know if I went down to the job fair and got a job with ICE, and now I'm over here arresting people. If you illegal or if you make me upset, you have got to go to El Salvador.
What is the thing that you smoke in the morning? Because you is crazy. What is it that you were on?
It's why not? Why not? If everybody else could just get kidnapped out in the street, college students, fathers, mothers, grandmothers, why I can't arrest people that piss me off?
So you can make a citizen's arrest. I'm sure that is.
Imagine how many people are going to be dressed as ICE on Halloween.
Child, I don't want to.
And that's just pure wickedness. If you guys do that on Halloween, that's pure wickedness.
It is wicked. Because that's terrorism.
Because you never know. Especially if a group of them do it.
Yeah.
Oh, they got to put a stop to that right quick. Because now that I just thought about that and said that out loud, that's a little bit scary.
Those ICE agents that rolled up on, the girl out there and, the tough student, they didn't look like police officers at all. They look like the gang unit.
Oh yeah,
that's what they look like.
Yeah. And they don't identify themselves. They don't present any identification. They usually don't walk with warrants. None of that. So I don't know.
I'm sad about it. We can go right into the entertainment news if we so desire.
Mm-hmm.
Do you so desire that?
We can read the top stories.
What the hell is Pastor Troy saying?
Oh, I forgot about the audience. I completely forgot about y'all. He said, "Come snatch me up." Ew. Why you spell it like that?
I'm gonna pass you off at 10 minutes. 10.
Strippers dressed as ice, says Schneider. Well, there's that.
Oh, that'd be cute.
Ice.
Imagine you go to a little strip club and they got little ice thongs.
They probably do. We've seen one dressed like Harry Potter, so nothing's beyond
That's
anything.
very true. That's very true.
What else do we have here? Entertainment news. This Shannon Sharp story is going crazy.
It's going crazy.
She's been named now. Her name is Gabby Zuniga.
Is she that one? She looks like
20 years old.
She looks like that one of them. You know the rock star with the wife and the English wife, and then they have a daughter, Kelly Osbourne.
Oh wow!
Look at her. There's a picture somewhere of her. She's got purple, or maybe that was Kelly Osbourne with Shannon Sharp. I don't know why, but
yeah. So Shannon Sharp, rape accuser, confronted ex-NFL star with no means no text. With a no means no text. Okay. All these things have popped up. The woman alleging that former NFL great and ESPN personality Shannon Sharp raped her confronted him in a text exchange earlier this year. The woman texted Sharp, according to a trove of messages released to the media by Sharp's attorney Lanny J. Davis on January 2nd, that no means no and that she didn't know how to process the situation. But I cried when you left because I begged you to put a condom on and not put it in my brow. And you didn't listen. It's not the round, it's the hee-haw. She asked him not to put it in my hee-haw, and you didn't listen. The woman, who was named by Sharp's legal team but is not being identified by the Post, texted him. I don't care what our story is. No means no, Shannon.
Yes.
God.
The text was followed by the message about processing what happened, leading to Sharp asking if he could call you later. Wow, he just said, I'm going to call you later. It wasn't clear from the release text exchanges whether they discussed what had happened on the phone. Sharp is facing a $50 million lawsuit alleging that he raped the woman believed to be in her 20s on 2 occasions in October and in January. October of 2024 and January of 2025. The suit claims Sharp threatened to kill the woman multiple times and was manipulating, controlling, and repeatedly threatened to brutally choke and violently slap her. The lawsuit also described things between the two as a rocky consensual relationship and claimed that Sharp had sexually assaulted, committed sexual battery, and had intentionally inflicted emotional distress during the relationship. She's 20 years old.
So I was did you hear any of the audio?
No.
So I was listening to the audio, and first of all, I'm not sure why they're putting out that audio because it sounds crazy. But like she was saying something, and he was like, well, I don't want you to do that. And she was like, well, I don't know. He was like, you know what? You next time I see you, if you do that, I'm gonna choke you. And there was a long pause. She was like, I don't want to be choked. And he was like, yes, you do. I was like, first of all, what is this conversation?
When she said she doesn't want to be choked.
She doesn't want to be choked. And he was like, yes, you do. So I guess that was his admission that he be choking her out. But I don't know if it sounded threatening or if it sounded sexy.
I mean, I hate to be this person.
I just wish you were.
But yesterday when you were describing the interaction, I said, wow, is what I said.
Moving on, God damn it.
I said, oh. Say it again. What happened?
Let me hear it one more time in my mind.
let me close my eyes and picture this.
And this is not funny. We're not laughing at this.
No,
We're
I'm
laughing
not.
at our own.
I'm
whatever.
laughing at our own things.
But yeah, this is gonna be crazy because she obviously knew what she was doing by recording all of these things, and like they're out to get him. Shannon better be very, very careful because he made a mess for himself in 2024 with all that attention that he got throughout the year.
Yeah,
and now they gonna come for him because that's what they do.
Yep. We touched yesterday briefly on the Kanye West situation, and we didn't talk about it, but we spoke briefly about it. Bianca Censori has apparently made a statement. About what she's, and I can't find it.
I saw it earlier this morning too.
Earlier, so she's apparently made a statement, and people were very surprised that she could talk. But she made a statement via one of these social media platforms, and she just said she's heartbroken about what is going on with him. Everything doesn't need to be shared. Some things need to be kept private, and she wishes that he would seek help without making public knowledge of these things. And it's just a really, really.
They're also back together.
Are they?
I thought she left him.
Yeah, she apparently yesterday they reported that they're back together.
And that sounds crazy to me too, because this man is literally spiraling out of control and being a public nuisance to everybody. I don't know what the difference between him and Donald Trump is, to be honest.
There's one.
I guess in that conversation, in that comparison, Donald Trump, for some reason, has a little bit more couth. And that's not saying much.
That's crazy to say.
Yeah.
Or to be
I don't
able
know.
to be said.
Yeah, and I think that's unfortunate.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't know what is supposed to happen with them or how this is supposed to happen, but tell that boy come here. I don't know.
Me either, and I just don't know. Jay-Z rape accuser wants lawsuit against her tossed.
Nope.
Absolutely not.
No. Toss your ass in jail is what needs to happen.
Yep.
So the woman who accused Jay-Z and Diddy of raping her when she was 13 years old is now taking legal steps to try and dismiss a lawsuit Jay-Z filed against her. Jay-Z's accuser, who first sued him for rape as a Jane Doe, filed new legal docs Tuesday to dismiss the defamation suit the music mogul filed against her and her attorney, Tony Busby, in Alabama. In new legal docs obtained by the News, woman claims Jay-Z can't sue her over the claims because she made them in court documents and are therefore privileged, adding that the interview she did with NBC was based on her claims in the court docs. She did an interview with NBC?
Who?
The girl that accused them?
No, I don't think so.
As we reported, the woman claimed Jay-Z and Diddy raped her in New York back in 2000. She ultimately dropped the rape suit, and Jay-Z then sued her and Busby in Alabama, where she lives, over bringing the case in the first place. Abso-freaking-lutely. Woman now wants Jay-Z's lawsuit dismissed with prejudice, meaning it can't be filed again. Busby previously filed a motion to get Jay-Z's lawsuit against him dismissed, claiming they struck a deal and Jay reneged, an allegation Hove's camp previously told us was bogus. In her motion, the woman takes a similar claim about dismissing her lawsuit per the alleged agreement. We reached out to reps for Jay-Z, and so far, no word back. No word back. Nope, don't drop it. And I hope they can't drop it. And I hope they sue her for trying to drop it. I don't know. Is that thing? Can you sue her for trying to drop it?
I think no. I think that they absolutely should not be dismissed at all, because you did a very bad thing. And you set that man up and you attacked him, and he's got small children, and he ain't never said or done anything for you to name him. Nobody even asked her. Why is there so many of those? Nobody even asked her either. To do that. Yeah. It was Diddy and two unidentified other people. Yeah. And you went there and allowed this lawyer to name that man in that lawsuit and drag him through social media. Absolutely not. Yep. You don't get a pass.
Not at all. F you. And everybody you came with. And 100%. Tony Busby too.
Yep. Tony Busby. If I was Tony Busby, I would have laid low. You better lay low, because you're crazy.
Oh, wow. And then in very unfortunate news, Carlos Santana was hospitalized after suffering a medical emergency as he prepared for a concert in Texas on Tuesday. The 77-year-old Icon's manager, Michael Vronis, told The Nose that Mr. Santana was at the Majestic Theater in San Antonio preparing for tonight's show when he experienced an event that was determined to be dehydration. They said out of an abundance of caution and the health of Mr. Santana, the decision to postpone the show was the most prudent course of action. He is doing well and is looking forward to coming back to San Antonio soon, as well as continuing his U.S. tour. So prayers out for Carlos Santana. I hope that he will be okay. 77 years old.
Played by Carlos Santana.
Yeah. And then in Pope news, the Pope has been lying in state, and he will be transferred to basilica today for a public wake. He's in a simple wooden coffin, which he requested.
Okay.
And he's just laying in state, and people can walk around and look at him.
How long do they lay in state?
They lay in state for a little, it's like a while.
Oh.
A while.
And then they eventually bury them?
Yes, well, he requested to be buried. Sometimes they're whatever, but he requested he wanted everything to be very simple. He is just in a wooden box.
Yeah.
He's got a rosary in his hands. It's an open top, so it's just completely open.
Oh.
And he requested to be buried in the ground. Yesterday there were a lot of specials about the Pope, and they talked about his final moments. Mm-hmm. And he knew that he knew he was going, but he still was able to go out into the crowd that day. Mm-hmm. He went out onto the porch. He asked his nurse if the nurse thought that he would be able to make it.
Yeah.
And the nurse told him that, he thought that he would. So he went out into the Pope mobile. He went out onto the porch, and then he thanked his nurse. Mm-hmm. And they said he made a little signal that it was done.
Over. Yeah.
And then he just
What a peaceful way to go, huh?
They made it sound beautiful.
Yeah.
And they said that he was just such a great man. He was the people's pope. Everybody
Yeah.
liked him. He fought for LGBTQ rights.
Yeah.
He fought for everybody to just be like, as long as we believe in God and we call ourselves God children, there is no difference among us.
I just don't understand how come some people get it
Yeah.
and some people. This
Yeah.
man is a pope. He didn't have nothing.
Yeah.
He didn't want nothing.
Yeah.
And that's what he believed. As long as everybody mind their business and believed
Yeah.
in God and did right by the world,
Yeah.
nothing was wrong.
Yeah.
This administration believes that everything that ain't broke, we're
Yep.
going to break it. And,
Yep.
and
It's so interesting because
yeah.
Donald Trump and Melania are traveling for the funeral. They will be there.
Oh, they're going to go?
Zelensky is going to be there.
Oh.
Prince William is going instead of Prince Charles because Prince Charles is in bad health. But there's a lot of people who are supposed to be in attendance of his funeral, and the conclave is forming. So the conclave is all of the cardinals that he selected.
Yeah.
So there's cardinals that represent from each country.
Yeah.
And the conclave is going to come together to elect the new pope. So what we have to look for is there's going to be white smoke that blows out of the conclave to show us that a new pope was been selected.
Beautiful.
So all these things I learned yesterday just watching the news and learning about the Pope. So this is going to be a very surreal time.
God save the Pope.
I don't know if that's politically correct. I don't know.
Because he did.
I see what you're trying to do.
He is saved. He going to heaven.
He's going there.
Amen,
He's
amen.
definitely going.
Yes.
I'm going to judge him
So
as going.
that's what I found out yesterday.
All right, peepers. That's it for today. Thank you for joining us at Spark FM Online, #1 for urban and Caribbean music. We had some great guests that dropped in here for today. We had Conan Harris. Don't forget, it's all about the career fair on the 29th. Tonight,
yes.
Tonight, we have our legal business workshop. If you are a small business, a big business, and you want some general information about how to stay legal, how to stay in compliant, make sure that you're doing everything, get some contract help, figure out how you, what is it called? You trademark or register or something like that. Tonight, at Spark FM at 6 o'clock to 8 o'clock, 1195 Blue Hill Ave. You can come here. It is free. We do ask for you to register, but you can register when you get here. 6 to 8 tonight at Spark FM Online. Legal issues for small businesses.
Yes.
Beautiful.
Yes. With that said, we'll see y'all later.
Bye.
Bye.
You're listening to Saucy and Friends in the morning with Miss Hot Sauce, Miss Tony, and Rockstone Triz. You're listening to Spark FM online.
You are now listening to Spark FM.
Finally Home is a must-read step-by-step